if the world was bad, 2 weeks ago with the whole pandemic thing, it's probably, I mean, got tenfold worse in the time since we last recorded.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's like you keep asking yourself, it can't get worse. You're like, this can't get worse.
Right.
We're at the
global pandemic. Yeah, this can't get worse.
Just 2020.
Yeah, 2020 has been just the worst year ever. Like, I mean, honestly, like I don't know. Like, I'm not feeling my normal bouncy self. I don't really feel in the mood to make jokes. I don't know. This is like, this is a serious situation that we're in. But it's not like a new situation. It's not like this is like uncharted territory. It's just like it's the same shit. Part 400. Part 500. I mean, I don't know. You want to say? So I mean, unless you've been living on a rock, another black person was killed by police, and we live in a social media age. So something that probably happened like every other day back 30, 40 years ago is amplified now, which is a good thing. So now we get to see it, and people get to see it, and when people see things, they get pissed off. And basically, I'm watching my TV right now. Like numerous cities across America are literally people are pissed off. And they're rioting, and that's the backdrop of this episode. There's no topic really. It's just we're having an open discussion about the state of America right now. And it's not like it's a new state. It's the same state of America that we've been in literally since, I mean, as long as black people have been dragged to the continent. So, and as Don Lemon comes on my screen.
This is great.
His makeup is very good today. So. What do you guys want to do? I sat there and went long there.
He said Don Lemon's a baddie today.
Yeah, he do be looking a little Casperish sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that how you talk? Is that how you talk in your house, nigga? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Literally just last week or last episode we were talking about Ahmaud Arbery, and it's just like literally the next episode we're here again is so crazy to me, and that's not even counting the amount of cases that probably didn't go reported, or that probably weren't as obvious as this George Floyd case. But it's just, this week has literally been one of the most draining, exhausting weeks. Like, I felt like I didn't feel like working. I didn't feel like doing anything. I honestly didn't even feel like engaging with some of my non-black coworkers, to be honest with you. Like, just been kind of in a state of numbness. Like,
it's a normal day for them. I mean,
and the thing, I had a staff call today, and like nobody brought it up. It didn't seem like any type of burden was on anybody else. It was like I was kind of like carrying that like on my own, and I was like, should I speak up, say something? No, and like it was just an uncomfortable feeling, like being around people who don't even, like, it doesn't even seem to bother them, and that's whatever. But I'm just tired, man. Just tired. I mean, it's as you can, like, as people can see right now, like with major cities pretty much, well, literally up in flames. Like, people are tired of this shit, and there's only so much a person can take. I mean, like, I used to be on a different stance about like kind of the rioting and looting. But when you really just think about the black person's history in this country, land of the free, home of the brave, after years, 400 plus years of slavery, and then years of segregation and being 1/3, and years of like kind of this hidden racism where we're at now, somebody can only take so much. And I honestly like can't really think of another people who's been put through what African Americans have been put through in this history. And that's not knock anybody else's history, but it's crazy.
Like, to me, like, and I used to be like how Darian, like what Darian said, like when Baltimore was pissed off and they were breaking shit, I was like, oh, I understand why we're pissed off. It was like 4 or 5 years ago,
right?
And I was like, oh wait, why are we destroying things? This is our community, da da da. Destroying shit because you're pissed off, kicking ass, taking names, destroying cities. That is the most American thing that you can do. That is America. America literally was built on destroying shit because we're pissed off. The American Revolution literally happened because settlers from England came here.
Some teabags.
They didn't have any representation in Parliament. They were pissed off. England was broke as fuck, so they started taxing America. And Americans got pissed off. They started burning down mansions. They started attacking governors that were sympathetic to the British. They started protesting and throwing shit at redcoats, and they were shot and killed. And they started a whole ass war. That's literally how this country was started.
Seems so
familiar.
familiar.
To me, like literally, there is no difference between that and what I'm seeing right now. Like that is literally what America. That's the most American thing you can do when you're pissed off. The only way to make change in this country is to get mad and break shit. Like it's not even in this country, in the world. America has literally been doing during the Cold War. We're going to communist countries where there was a communist regime in effect, and start uprisings like this to overthrow communists just because they didn't want communists to spread. This is literally American what they're doing. Like what? Peaceful protests? Like, we can't kneel, because if you kneel, then you're a son of a bitch. And if you kneel, you don't respect the flag. So, and you can't get mad, because if you get mad, then you're an animal and you're a beast. So, literally, what are you supposed to do? Like, what are we supposed to do? Literally, like, I saw a thread today. France, literally, the French Revolution, poor people, oppressed people got pissed off. What did they start to do? They started cutting off royals' heads. Literally. Grabbed them, put their heads on pikes, walked around the city with people's heads on pikes. They took Marie Antoinette, first they tortured her for 3 months in prison, tortured her son, then chopped her head off. But the French Revolution, that's cool, right? They were revolutionaries, right?
That's history.
This is a revolution, bro.
Yeah, Russian
This is a revolution right here, though.
That's how the story of Marie Antoinette ends?
Yes, she was tortured and guillotined.
That was a show.
Off with her head.
Yes.
But no, man. We're watching the revolution happen right now, bro. Like, I'm gonna just say, like, from the past, couple days, I've done my damnedest to avoid social media and feeling a type of way about it, just simply because so much stress going on in the world. Enough with the pandemic and me being, a frontline worker and having to deal with, customers and their attitudes and just everybody's just stressed. Everybody's high strung right now. Cool. Get it. So, but today, now that I'm not at work, not purposely, but voluntarily engulfed myself and, to find out what exactly happened. And I want to tell you, man, like, I feel some type of way. Like, I, to my core, feel so angry. I feel like everything that we say we're doing is just like it's been a waste until this point, man. Like, I feel like we're making progress, but then we take like 5 steps back. Like, I was watching Cornel West, and he was just like, or no, it was Bakari Sellers. He was just like, yo, like, everything. A lot of people feel like the last things we've done in this decade. I highlight Barack Obama. It felt like it was at this point, it's a waste. Like, it was cool, but like, what have we really achieved at this point, man? Like, I feel like if anything, it is adding more gas to the fire of the hatred of the black man and his power. You know what I mean? And I think inside of me, I feel like it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But it's just like, what is enough, man. Like, you just think like, okay, man, this is a slam dunk. You know what I'm saying? They gonna go away. Nah, 3rd degree. Like, what? 3rd degree? You know how confusing 3rd degree? I want everybody that's listening to go look up what 3rd degree is and tell me what the fuck that means to you, because it's confusing as hell. Like, and then you got 3 other people that could have said something like, "Hey, bruh, back up off this man's neck. Like, we can detain him.
They was
Let's
also
go move
on that
him."
nigga too. They was on him.
Like,
2 of them was.
It's mind blowing to me, bro. Like, and then you expect people not to get angry, and you expect people not to want to, riot. And I get it. Like, the looting, that's one thing. Destroying things, I'm partial, because at the same time, like Aaron said, like, we're Americans, right? We like smashing stuff. We love rock music. We love all this other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We actually have, you can actually go and go smash shit. legally. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can go to, like, it's like axe throwing. You can go to a room, dress up, and smash shit. Because you want to know why? It feels good. It feels good to let out anger towards something or an object that is oppressing you or that has, some type of, hold over you. So you see police, and whether it be fair or not, you associate them with brutality and you associate them with unfairness and unlawfulness. And you see an oppressive force that is countless. We killed black men and minorities over and over again with getting away with it. And it has to stop. It just has to stop.
Right. That's man. It's tired. And to your point earlier, like when I was saying, like every time it seems like we're taking a step forward. Like I was literally just thinking about this earlier today. Like not too long ago when the pandemic started, like it kind of felt like people were more like united against one enemy. You know what I'm saying? One pandemic, one virus. It affects everybody, regardless of who you are, regardless of what race you are, and yet just not less than. And not only that fell apart when we saw the disparities between African Americans and white people and more privileged people. So already we had to come to the fact that we're black in America, and now we get that harsh reminder that, regardless of how much we've kumbaya'd in the past, regardless of how much we've come together on certain issues, regardless of the bipartisanship, we still black. Mm-hmm. We're still black in a country that is built literally on our backs. Like we're at this point, like I find it so ironic that we always say 40 acres and a mule. We're literally the mule for this country, like carrying this country on our backs, pulling the load and building this country, and yet we don't get the respect that we deserve, and pretty much at this point beyond deserve, that we've earned. Even if they didn't feel like we deserved it initially, we put the work in. Like if somebody gives you a service for 400 years and tolerates you beating the shit out of them for 50 years, and you get this behind the back racism, and now some people are just blatant. Trump has revitalized a lot of just blatant racism. And so like it's only so much that like you can be peaceful about. And I'm not gonna knock, because I see a lot of people knocking peaceful protests, calling them ineffective. I'm not gonna put the work that a lot of people in the civil rights movement, the nonviolent movements, that kind of, they did play their role. They still do play their role. It's not
that they're ineffective. It's just like they peacefully protest and they were still murdered. They were still beaten. They were still they were still had dogs sick on them. Or again, like Colin Kaepernick, he's blackballed, lost his livelihood because of it. So just what they're doing is not saying what they're doing is ineffective. It's just when what you're being oppressed by, when what you're oppressed by has rules with the iron fist. Like the peaceful stuff only gets you but so far, exactly. Right?
And you don't.
And honestly, go ahead. I was gonna say honestly, we need to get past the point of trying to separate peaceful protests from non-peaceful, because like neither one of it works. Like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were both murdered, and even though they weren't killed by cops, like literally in the months leading to their death, they were both surveilled, spied on.
Nobody killed by cops. The FBI killed Martin Luther King.
They weren't like
nigga. I don't care what you say. You what, nigga? That's what happened.
They were definitely. My point is, they were tracking them. They were not doing anything to stop them from being killed. Put it that way. So, like, I mean, the peaceful or not, it's black people, black and brown people aren't allowed to be mad and upset. Everybody else can get upset. Like white people can go and bring AR-15s to their state capitals over the corona thing. And listen, man, honestly, I was with all those white people. I was with them. For that topic, I was, right? But that's a whole nother different, but I can separate that argument from the fact that if it was niggas, if us four just decided to, let's go grab the AR-15s and go up to Annapolis and with guns and tell Larry Hogan to open up the state and see how that would have turned out.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Right? I mean, like,
protest.
So, black and brown people aren't allowed. This is like white people are allowed to do this. Americans are allowed to do this, except black Americans, right? Like literally, it's documented out throughout history.
Black.
Like literally, like when black people do stuff, it's called a riot, and when white people, it's different, right? For whatever reason. Like I said, America can literally have a bloody uprising to get independence from Britain, make a country, then turn around and have southern states rise up and protest and start a civil war over because they want slaves. Like, all that is allowed and fine. All that is allowed and fine, right? But like, if niggas get mad because, you know, a black person gets killed, you know, you're going too far, a step too far there. You know, it's really ridiculous. Like, literally protesting is the most American thing you can do. It literally is.
It's in the Constitution that they gave for us.
It's one of our rights.
It's the one they gave too. That's the most ironic part. They wrote the laws, and we flip each and every one of them right back at them, and they can't defend it.
I just really feel like, man, like, just the way we talking is just. I hate to say it, but the only way like this is gonna change is if it's a civilization. The only thing that changed between, you know, not having slaves was a civil war. Like, I don't want people to get hurt. I think we're just so civil that it's just like, all right, well, they'll lay down eventually. Like, they'll just, you know what I'm saying? They'll quell down. You know what I mean? Like, just let this boil over. Like, that's just countless times has happened. And I think we're so, like, yeah, we get our frustrations out, but at the same time, like, we saw what our ancestors went through and being murdered, and we watched them continually get murdered. We don't want to, you know what I'm saying, have more lives, you know, get, you know, shot or get in a war or something like that. But at the same time, like, I don't know, something's got to give is what I'm really getting at. It's just like something's got to give.
I'm telling you, it's only, like, I was just talking about this earlier today. It's only two ways this can go. One way, which is apparently a long shot, is for people to change. And, like, I don't, honestly, as we've seen, it takes centuries, if not centuries. Like, a century at a time, you see one change. It took us, like, I don't know, a century to get out of segregation or whatever.
It took 200 years just to get a Civil Rights Act.
Right. Like, and even after that, not everybody was even, like, still segregation. Like, it didn't all happen at once. And then the other option is, like, what I've been seeing is, like, is coming closer to a reality is, like Malik was saying, a revolution. Like, an uprising is what I'm saying. It's like, I've never seen, like, I was seeing people in DC, like, literally just throwing hands with cops, like,
shit crazy,
like seriously throwing hands, like
Brooklyn Barclays Center looking crazy,
right?
I mean, listen, like, there's very few examples, especially in, like, America, where social change has happened without some type of violence. That's just literally, like, just how the world works. And it can't be respectability politics and what's right and wrong. Like, I think this is too nuanced of a debate to sit there like, well, it's not right to loot things or break things or burn things up. I mean, that's not how the world works, unfortunately. Right? Like, America has never had an issue with breaking a few eggs to get to what they want. And the only way to change, no matter what country it is for people to get pissed off. And if you riot enough and you break enough shit, then the politicians have to take notice of you. Like, that's the way Black Americans got housing. Was the race riots that happened in the 50s and 60s? Like DC, like I said, that's what has to happen. Like, and I know it's scary to some people, but that's literally how the world works. Like, that's the only way to do it, right? I mean, like, and I hate to see, like, the way, because, you know, white people will use Martin Luther King, like, you know, use him as like sprinkle him like parsley on their little bit. Well, if only you're more like Martin Luther King, you know, he was very peaceful. And even Martin Luther King, right before he died, was like, Jesus, man, like,
they hated him. They hated him. They didn't love him then. They didn't cherish him then. Yeah,
when that nigga started moving towards the poverty movement, they started to hate that nigga because they realized just how big of a threat he was to them and what they were trying to change. It was like, oh, it's not just this peaceable hug your neighbor crap. This nigga actually does want other things.
Like,
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
I just don't like understand. Like, I mean, no, that was a good point. Like, that's literally the case. Like, Martin Luther King's his approval rating. I forgot what it was. it was like a Washington.
most hated man in
Voted
America
it.
by the
Yeah,
time
he was the most hated man in America.
Yeah, like I mean, like they thought he was
He even
radical.
beat Malcolm X.
They did.
Like,
Crazy.
like during that time, he was radical. Like, which is like insane. Like, and
He didn't say any violence. He was anything but that.
like, yeah, this is the only way to do it, man. And like, I don't. And again, right? We're saying that's. It's not like we're out there doing it, right? So it's not like I mean. So we gotta look at it that way. I mean, like, listen, I'm not a protester. I'm not gonna go.
There's some brave individuals.
I'm about to say, like, I will readily admit
My hat's
that
off
I'm
to
not.
them, for
Like
sure.
I said, I will go to a protest, but I'm not gonna be in the front lines getting in conversations with
Right.
cops and all. I'm not gonna do that, right? But I admire the people that are willing to do that. I'm gonna be real about it, right? Like,
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, so like when all this happened, I was able to avoid it on social media. I ain't watched the video of him with his with a knee to his neck. I ain't seen none of it. I just kind of avoided it because like, bro, I don't want to watch another black dude die. Like, it's just like the most depressing thing. We're like the only people in America that have to like continuously sit here and watch one of ours die on the internet like every couple months. And it's like, we're the ones posting it. And I understand the importance of showing these things. I get it. I'm a person who studied media. I understand why you want to do this. But I'm not going to sit here and continue to watch. And that's why it's like, for me, it was just one of those things where it was like, yo, I wasn't really, like, you know, you do have like not to say anger doesn't exist, but it's just like, you're just tired of it. You just sit there and you keep seeing it over and over and over and over again. And it just kind of just, that's why I was like, yo, like, full disclosure, I didn't really want to talk about this because I was kind of like, bro, this is beaten upon our heads over media and over everything else. Like, every single waking second of the day is the leading story in the midst of a global pandemic. Right. It still managed to become number one. And it's one of those things where it's like, yo, you just get tired of hearing so much about these things. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like, you know, so you just keep hearing all this stuff about, you know, there's only a couple ways this could end. And it's just like, yo, how do you end an issue that's, it's systemic racism, but then if you take it even deeper, it's intrinsic. It's something that's interwoven into their DNA. It's like you have to like hardwire each new generation of white people to not hate black people. You know how hard that is when there are a lot of white people right now whose grandfathers are probably proud members of the Klan. Like, you know, not to just say all white people are bad. I'm not trying to say that, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's just so hardwired into somebody's DNA. It's like, yo, it's such a hard thing to just end, and you're just sitting there like, well, they could pass an act. All right, they passed an act or something like that. We all thought, it's like I read a tweet, it's like, yo, we all thought body cameras was the solution. Nigga, since they've gotten body cameras, we've watched even more people die, and we've watched them on body cameras.
They know the cameras on them. They know the cameras on them. They
don't care. It's like we sat there and we watched that.
Well, that bitch ain't work.
Fam, or it adequately.
Chief got me. I'm glad Chief got me.
You know, it's just
Dante said that.
It's just the worst thing in the world when you think about that. And also because we brought her up last time, we didn't say her name. Breonna Taylor. That was a black woman who was shot and killed by the cops that we didn't.
They went her home.
They went in her home. They killed her. I think she was a paramedic or something like that. And so so she was another person who was gunned down. So we definitely got to make sure we tell the story of these black women that are out here dying as well. So just want to make sure I threw that in there before I forgot.
But yeah, I'm glad you said that. Like, because like there is that was the thing. There is no there's not going to be a point where there's no racism, right? Like there is no answer really, because I mean, you look around the world, there are like ethnic groups that have been fighting each other for millennia. Right, I mean, like, you know what I mean.
The Israelis in the Palestine.
I'm about to say, like, I mean, like, there's nothing you can do. Only thing we can do, right, is do this because this inspires change, and this can get you leaders that actually have the balls to sit there and speak about this, and won't sit there and release a statement that, you know, it's really sad this person died, but, you know,
we just need to love each other.
Or something dumb like that.
Something very corporate and blanket everything.
Safe.
You just need to take care of each other.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and
really,
we're all in this together.
We need more than that, bro. Like, we all know that we're all in this together. We're all stuck in this country together, but it's a little bit deeper.
Or has to explicitly say, you know, not all cops are bad. No shit, not all cops are bad. We understand.
I think we understand.
We know. We got you.
We've met enough to know that they're not all fucking bad. They're members of our communities. We you know, men and women. We met them. They're cool. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, but like, come on, bro.
Like
Like,
one comedian said, it's like, yo, some jobs aren't allowed to have bad apples. Like I think might have been Chris Rock, where it was just like, oh, like we're not allowed to have a bad pilot. I may land today. I forgot which comedian. I think it was Chris Rock, but it's like, yo, it's just some jobs don't allow that. That's not the way this can go. You know, we can't have certain cops that want to be out here beating the crap out of black dudes for no reason. Like my man, well, even like putting up a fight. Every video that I see before he gets killed, he is like being dragged around by the police. He's not even leading them. They are leading his body everywhere.
Yeah. You know, he's a good cop. You know, sometimes he gets a little grabby, but he's still
a little handsy.
And a lot of these cops have histories of doing that.
They have priors.
Yeah, 18 complaints.
New. It's not new. A lot of them get complaints. This doesn't come out of anywhere. And like, you honestly need to check out their police chiefs too. You need to check out like all the way up that ladder. Like it's corruption all throughout. And yeah, I get like my uncles were cops. Like and I love my uncles. So like there are some good cops. And like, but at the same time, like it's some of these systems. With anybody in power, like you always got to scan for corruption. Like corruption is there. It's deep into the police force. Like it's deep. The government has used police to exert like a lot of racist stuff on the ground, like a lot of oppressive means on the ground. Like it's here.
And it's like the thing that always throws you off will be like after you see all this stuff and after it all happens, it'll be a black chief of police. Like the dude in Minneapolis, like a black chief of police. And it's like, I mean, personally, I believe he has the most unenviable position in the world right now because he's about to get screwed on both sides because either his dudes and the cops will kill him or he screws us over so people will get him too. So it's one of those things. I mean, not to try to create sympathy for the guy, but I just think he's in a completely unenviable position. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's people of our skin tone that are at the top, and this still happens. Like he's in charge of that whole district where that's happening.
I'm literally watching Atlanta's mayor, who's a black woman.
Yeah,
she went off.
She's on TV bootlicking CNN. Oh, how dare you destroy the CNN center? Ted Turner can't. Fuck Ted Turner. All right, Ted Turner was a great guy.
Wait, why did they go for CNN though? Was my question.
Because it's just a big building down there. It's a big building. No, it's literally a big building. It was there. It could have been the CNN building. It could have been the NBC building. That it didn't matter. It just happened.
Turner Field
was there. Yeah, it could have been Turner. Like I said, like Ted Turner was a great guy, great entrepreneur, all that. You know, he was the money behind WCW, wrestling fans. Oh, great. I don't care. None of that matters. Okay, like be a mayor, right? And like understand what you're a black woman. You're a Democrat. Be a mayor. Be a leader. Don't sit there and lecture people. Like, get out of here.
With the police chief behind her.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, that's the hardest. That's what I'm saying.
You have to vote people in there, and just because they have the little D next to their name doesn't mean that they're an ally either.
That D don't mean you down.
Exactly.
Right. That's why voting is so important, bro. Like voting, like we got elections coming up. Like a lot of people don't realize, like a lot of these police chiefs are appointed by mayors or these higher up. I don't even think a lot of them are elected by the public.
We can vote for the sheriff.
Probably change. Some of them you can vote. Yeah, you can vote for sheriffs, but some of them you can't even vote for. Some of these police, like DC's police chief, I think is mayorally appointed. And like even still, like even if they aren't black, to Dante's point, like I mean, even if they are black, a lot of them, like you said, are scared to lose their job, so they don't act as probably the way that they should have. They're scared of losing certain connections. Or like you said, they're scared to losing their life. They might take them out, like whatever, take them around the station and like whatever. But like corruption is so deep in there. Like with so many people in power, and Aaron brought up the mayor. Like it's even them, even at their level, they have so many people that they're trying to please as opposed to doing the right thing. They know they're gonna get backlash. They know they're not gonna be able to get reelected. They know they're not gonna be on this committee. So they don't do it.
And CNN makes a lot of money for that city. I know they do. CNN is a big economic driver in that. That's not important right now. Sorry, that's not important. CNN is not important right now, right? Like if you want to get your citizens, not destroy shit, you need to talk to them. You need to sit there and listen to them and do right by them. That's how you get them to stop rioting. I don't know. Like, I mean, it seems like it's not. I was gonna say it's simple. It's not simple. I'm not gonna go that far and say it's easy, right? But like, yeah, man. It's
the catch-22 of being in government. She also understands that if she loses the police, she can't win any type of election or re-election. That's like probably that's the hardest part. But like Barron's saying, it's the relationship thing. It's one of the harder things because we sit around and we watch these people and the way they act. It's like I think Minneapolis' mayor. He went out there and said, "Oh, this guy should be arrested." I mean, at the end of the day, he could say that. he can't automatically make it happen because he got to watch his connections, and it makes everything so much more difficult because
he looks so powerless.
Those police unions have a lot of.
They got
police. They have a lot of clout. You're right. They do. They got
and
a
that's
lot
what
of
makes
clout.
all this stuff so much more difficult. It's like, yo, you have beef with. I mean, the way everybody says what makes stuff general, it's like, yo, you have beef with the biggest gang with the most connections. That's what black people have. It really can't. You really can't do nothing about this because it's like, yo, they have everything. They got the power. They got the badge. They got the gun. If I shoot a cop right now, I'm going to jail. Even if they was in the wrong, that's how it goes. It's just one of those weird things where it's just like, you know, the people that you beefing with. I'm not praising shooting cops. Let's get that straight too. I don't want to go to jail. But yeah, making sure I cover my bases. You know, it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, everybody just it's just such a difficult situation with so many things attached to it. I think that's what makes all of this so much harder. You know, it's like, you know, the virus is like one invisible enemy that everybody's fighting, but it's just like, yo, racism's another one. We fighting two invisible enemies. We can't you can't shoot racism. What do you do?
Right. And even through the virus, like I was saying before, like it's just so many ways that we're just so disadvantaged in so many aspects. Like black men, I think, have the lowest life expectancy of any other race in the U.S. And it's not even just because of the killings; it's because of the health disparities. Like we have pre-existing health issues by our environments. We're exposed to like all these crazy different things, and on top of that, we got police killing us. So it's just like. It's like a huge block, like on each of our backs. Like as soon as we're born into this world, and it's just like people are pissed off. People are pissed off, and like I get, like, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't want to see, but like at the same time, we're getting to a point where we're past that. A lot of, like how Aaron was describing, a lot of revolutions kind of started like from where we are now. Like a group of people getting so pissed off, like after giving everything. We live, like, I can't think of what we haven't given for this country. We've given everything. Yeah. And it's not even my choice. We've given everything.
Just to be accepted, just to be treated as equal, which is something that should just be fucking given. Like, we've done everything just to even be a speck on the radar. Or something that should just, like, and that's all, and based off the color of someone's skin.
I'm telling you.
Not because, you know, like, I don't like Trump because he's a bad person. Not because he's white. There's a difference. You see, there's people that don't like, you know, there's people out there that are white. They don't like me not because they don't like me. They like me because of my skin. There's a difference. Like, I think people need to understand that there's a clear difference between it. Like, psychologically, like if I were not to like somebody, it's not because he's black or he's white, you know, whatever. It's because I have a fundamental disagreement, or maybe his philosophies or the way he approaches things. That's okay. That's normal. It's not normal to not like somebody because of a color.
Right, it's not.
That's not normal, bro.
I mean, it's generations and generations of not even just like your family. Like, I mean, the families being racist, but then, you know, they turn on the TV and the way black people are portrayed in various media, whether it's the news or whether it's just pop culture or whatever. Like, literally, like, because like you see like these videos of like that lady who was like had her dog off leash in the park, and the guy called
Karen.
Like, yeah,
oh no, it's Amy.
Yeah, the dude videotaped whatever. Like, her first go-to was not even like, oh, can you stop videotaping me? Oh, I will call the police and tell them that an African American is literally like.
You already know that's what
her go-to was, right? Because
like that's what
she's been trained.
That's what
she sees on TV.
Like,
she sees on TV. She sees on the news that if I do that, I will get what I want.
Scare him.
Can we just talk about the fact that she was going to get a black bird watcher wearing a Pride T-shirt killed? That, in my book, is the most least threatening nigga of all time. You were going to get this nigga arrested. I'm just saying, because that threw me off. Because I was like, bro, number one, what nigga bird watches? You were going to get the one nigga that bird watches thrown into jail and or killed. You're a terrible human being for that.
And the shit out of the dog doing it too.
And like the lady who in, I think, Florida, who like killed her autistic son, and like her story was, oh, two black guys went and captured him. That's always the go-to, right? Because
they believe them, though. Like, that's the fucking thing.
Well, because that's the thing, though. Like, white people have this fear, and not all white people, whatever, like, have this irrational fear that black people are just out to get them, because their whole lives they're told, whether it's their family or the news, whatever, that black people are just terrified, evil beasts, apes running around, and all we care about is just hurting white people. That's it.
This is what they tell their kids at bedtime. They tell their kids like, "Oh, these are scary."
You better do your homework, or Tyrone will be under your bed tonight." You know,
right before they close the door. Right before they close the door. Don't dream about black people.
Even though back to like the lady from earlier this week, like everything that happened after that, it really put that into perspective for me. Because, up until then, I was kind of like, yo, why do we try to take people's jobs when we get them reported? Just one of those things where it's like, it seems like the extra mile to go to just get somebody unemployed, all that type of stuff. Then it finally clicked for me where it was just like, oh, well, if the cops had come, this dude could have been dead.
Right.
It's like a serious thing. I mean, because it was just one of those things we just think, like we're going to already out her. It's like, we see a lot of other people do bad things on Twitter all the time. Do we try and take their jobs? No, we don't. So I guess that was how I was thinking at first. And then it kind of just all clicked for me. And it was just like, everything that happened throughout the week, it just made everything make that much more sense. And it really just made that woman that much, I already didn't like her at first, but it just really made her actions like that much more evil. Because it's just like, if you watch everything that happened through this week, just in reverse, it's just like, this stuff all just came trickling down in 1 week, and you just see how everything was. And it's just like, yo, like I said earlier, during a pandemic, the top 2 stories that aren't the pandemic are stories about racial injustices. One of which ends in a terrible killing, but it's just like, at the end of the day, race is just like the common thing where it's just like, when is enough enough? It's like, you just sit there and you just listen to her call, and it's just like, the way she just sits there and has to just voice that it's a black man sitting around threatening her in the ramble, which sounds like a freaking scene out of a terrible movie where somebody gets raped in the first place. I don't know who the hell goes to the ramble, but anyway, it's one of those things where it just all sounds so terrible and so tragic, and you just sit there and you just like, yo, like, this has been like an awful week.
Yeah. And that's why another key to this, if you want to be an ally and you're not black, if you're white, like, there are plenty of great white people out there, but this is the time for you to show up. It's time for you to say something, get involved. Like,
Fam, it's time for y'all niggas to go read. I need to go learn.
Yeah, I'm about to say, right? Don't just go and sit there and tweet, oh, we should all love each other or something stupid like that. Like, go out, make change, speak up, say something real. Or if all you're going to do is just say, oh, love each other, don't say anything at that point. Like, I'd rather if you're going to just give me a canned, like, all lives matter repost, don't give me that.
Just shut the fuck up.
But, like, I mean, especially white people who, like, are in black spaces, like athletes, or you benefit from black culture in whatever way, like.
See, the problem with them, like, a lot of them, like, they have these black circles, and then they also have their rich white circle, not necessarily rich, but they have these other white circles where they just, hey, like, oh yeah, those niggers, yeah, those niggers, like,
right, exactly.
Anything. Like, there's a lot of people like that. So yeah, like when you're saying, yeah, I have black friends, like, yeah, I'm cool, but what do you say to your white friends? What are you stopping them when they're bringing up
right? Like when you're sitting with your all white friends right now, you're watching CNN and your 2 white friends on the side sit there and like, wow, these black people are crazy. Like, what are you gonna say in that situation, right? Like, if you're an ally with I think Steven Jackson, the basketball player Steven Jackson, like, he was best friends with George Floyd. And they look just like, I thought they were brothers, but anyway,
they were twins.
Wait, they really not?
That
nigga looked like a fat version of Steven Jackson. I really thought they were twins, to be fair. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, like he said, I saw a video of him. Basically, he was like, "I love you to all my white brothers and all that." And like I said, same here. But if you're not with me right now, then none of that love shit means anything. It doesn't mean anything right now if you're not standing with us right now, right? Like. And like, that's what I'm saying, right? Like you want to sit there and you want to be a NFL player and you want to be down and do cool little dances when you score touchdowns and, be down swaggy then, or you want to be a rapper or you be a gatekeeper in hip hop and all that. Shit.
They got to say something of substance, because in these type of situations, the greatest thing that they could lend us is their credibility, because it's like, yo, if you put your name on this right now, like when after Ahmaud Arbery got shot, Tom Brady was one of the people who signed the letter from the NFL Players Association. And one of the greatest things that he can lend is just his credibility and his visibility. Shows that, yo, I'm Tom Brady. I see that there's an issue here. And for a lot of white people who may not understand our issues or things like that, if you see Tom Brady's name attached to it, at the bare minimum, you will read
Get your attention.
And that's why it's so important. Like, even God, I don't like Taylor Swift, but people like her, she's putting out things about the president, white supremacy, fine. Or Joe Burrow just got drafted saying black people need to hear our voices. The wildest thing to do is to look at the comments underneath their tweets because
of course. Joe Burrow, I didn't even go into his tweets. I know.
For Joe Burrow, they were sitting there, they were like, oh, but what about when they kill each other and like they don't have any fathers?
About
3/4 of LSU Tiger Nation, I guarantee. Like, listen, man.
And he's from Ohio. You gotta remember that. So that Midwest racism.
Oh, and that too. Shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Nick Bosa, like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Nick Bosa supposed to be one of us.
He just supposed to. Nick Bosa better shut up right now. That's all he should do. But it's just one of those things where you just look at it and you just like, yo, that's like the greatest thing. Like, yeah, and that's why it was a really good point for you to bring up. It's like, yo, if you're a white person and you down with black people, lend your voice. Say what needs to be said. Speak up for them speak up for us when we're not around, though. Don't just let it be one of those things where you only speak up when we're in the room. If you love us, you are our friend, make sure that when, you sitting around 10 other white people and one of them got something smart to say, you sit there and say, hey, no, that's not how this goes, X, Y, Z. That's why it's very important to educate yourself. Understand the issues that are going on with your black friends or like in their community. Watch the news, read a book. Like, just make sure that you know these things. Like, if I have friends that are Muslim or Asian or anything like that, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll learn about an issue that affects their community so that either A, I can watch myself, make sure I don't say anything offensive, or B, I understand all of the facts so that, hey, I can be more educated in being this person,
and do more than just tweet about it, right? Tweet, like you actually understand. I'm so glad you said that.
Well, even if you are going to tweet, you should make sure that your tweet has substance. Right. If the biggest thing that you can give is your social media presence, just in general. I know that's not sometimes all we can give, but if that's an important thing for you to give, and you feel like your tweet's important, make sure that you're saying something of substance, and make sure you're saying something right. Don't use this as your time to retweet Dr. Umar, no matter what. That makes it right.
I see white people on my live.
People are going super hard with the Dr. Umar stuff. People are going. I'm about to say,
I'm good.
You are still here. You are not welcome.
I'm good.
Listen, some of the videos are funny. Some of the videos are funny because he's clearly like a shiesty dude. Like, he's clearly
snake oil salesman.
Exactly. Clearly a snake oil salesman, and some of it might be funny sometimes. But yeah, like
white people need a prince. I thought I had to get the shotty.
That shit's funny.
And then the funniest thing is when niggas like, yo, that nigga may be homeless. He started shooting all his videos outside out of nowhere.
They were like, why you never inside? He was like, don't worry about that.
Bro, I'm about to say, we getting, god dang, these are like the times when we got to get dangerously close to our Pan-African brothers and sisters. And they're gonna try and get us into a liberation that we may not be ready for.
They're gonna hand us an AK-47 and say, "Are you ready to join the revolution?" I'm like, bro, I just came for the free Popeyes, man. Damn, you just hand out Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Nigga, it's all fun and games. So they got us on a boat back to Namibia or whatever the country is. You said
we're leaving. What? Nigga, I didn't even grab my wallet. The fuck? Come on, bro.
Like, nah,
be sitting like, nigga, I was ready to defend this country. You mean I go?
Yeah, you telling me we're going back? Oh nah, bro. That got Netflix.
I just want to be
Netflix.
The best thing we can do right now.
Nigga, racist as hell for what you just said. But go ahead.
I was just asking a question.
The best thing we can do right now is, again, be out there in the front lines and then get your ass out there in November. You vote, man. Like, I mean,
I'm a motherfucking ass boy if y'all don't vote.
Biggest piece.
Even beyond November though. November is important, but like, yo, right now,
Tuesday.
It must educate yourself on your local leaders and all those other type of things.
Because they're the ones who hit the police chiefs,
and those are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones who you are most closely affecting your lives. Like, honestly, when Donald Trump got elected, I cared, but I really didn't care because the president can affect you, but in your day to day,
he really can't do nothing because states, he can recommend shit
to the federal level. But it's like
listen, I think the thing with Trump is more so like his presidential powers as much as just him. His cult of personality is extremely dangerous. And we're saying it right now.
I meant his power, but I meant like what he can do in a law. That's what I meant. But yeah,
he can't like lawfully do anything that's gonna impact me that much.
Him inspiring racists. That's scary. That's terrifying. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying.
This is the reason why. I mean, I profoundly believe that Trump is played a integral role in our backward steps. Like 110%.
Like I said, there's no way to dispute that. Now. I mean,
not this bold. Like people,
100%.
It was very behind the scenes. Now people, regardless of the body cameras, regardless of whatever, like
I think the cops
making so much good progress.
I think with the cops, that was just one of those things where it was just inevitable happening. Regardless,
I'm about to say, like I said,
with the cops, I feel like that was never going to be an issue. But
if we had the data of people being killed by cops, like.
Even under Obama, it was still high.
I'm about to say, if that data was kept like going back hundreds and hundreds of years, like I'm pretty sure the data would just look flat. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be like drops. It would just be like the same.
Yeah.
Like
that's the one thing I can't give him. You know, that was already happening. Now, just the regular niggas that want to kill us, he's definitely the one that played a role in that. But yeah, it's just one of those things. But yeah, definitely go out there and vote for your local leaders because they're the ones who really impact you on a day-to-day basis. They, like Darian saying, they choose police chiefs and all that type of stuff. So you need to make sure you're choosing the right people. You know, it's just one of those terrible situations where it's like, as much as it sucks, it's like, you know, we can all 99% agree that we'll be having this conversation again in a couple months. 100%. And it's just like, it's just the unfortunate part of life. And it's just so inescapable. And all that we can do is, as casual civilians, is try to do our part to make sure that we're choosing either the right leaders or we're taking the right steps. Or, you know, if you're going to, you know, if anybody's going to get out there and protest, you know, you get out there, you protest, make your voice heard. One way or another. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, just to sum it all up, make your voice heard.
And with the voting thing too, I mean, like, I guess this is a little different. Like, well, I guess, well, not so much where I live now, but where you guys lived. I mean, where you guys live in PG County. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, pretty solidly Democratic, but like, especially people who live in like bigger states where like there's like more. I don't know if diversity is the word, but like more like.
I mean, white people.
Yeah, like we're like the politically, it's like a mix of stuff. Like it's really important there, right? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I live in Northern Virginia. It's pretty liberal here too. But like, I mean, like you live in like Ohio, like you swing states like Florida, Pennsylvania, like
Michigan.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
if you live in those places, make sure that you vote. Make sure that you get out there and just make your voice heard. And you know, if you got to hit the streets, hit the streets. Do what you got to do.
Stay safe, please. Stay safe. I don't I don't want. Yeah,
honestly, with all that riot and stuff, like I'm here for people letting their voice be known. I keep seeing that Martin Luther King quote that riots are the voice of the unheard. Like, there's so many protests that are getting covered. I mean, more things are being covered now with social media and everything. But like, you want to get attention, tried and true, it's those riots. But one thing I would advocate for is more targeted. No pun intended. But more targeted riots. Like let's actually, like, if we want to hurt a certain business or something, let's do our research. Let's make sure the same way. And that sometimes it's hard to act when you're in such an emotional place and you're pissed off. Like, it's hard to think logically of where to attack. But like, I think that, like, if we're gonna hit something, let's make sure we hit the target. No pun intended again.
Yeah.
And let's make sure that if you're out there and you're gonna take a 60-inch TV, that you're also at the protest. Saying
get them lamps that you've been eyeing.
But you're doing all the right things before you take that TV, all right? Like, the extent of your protest can't just be able to take the TV and leave. That's not all you can do. Honestly, I don't know who had time to steal a TV during looting. I thought you're supposed to go in and out and get quick things. That's not a quick thing.
We're gonna stop you at that point, bro.
If you had your eyes on the TV for a long time, I mean, shit, you've been at Target a couple times. Wait. I'm about to say, you've been at Target a couple times. You know exactly where it is.
I'll be honest with you. Ain't the TVs in the back?
Right.
The TVs ain't even in the
Ain't nothing but sprint away, Dante. Ain't nothing but sprint away.
Who gonna stop you? Chad and Electronics gonna stop you?
They're probably stealing shit too.
Exactly.
I want to know, at the employees, once that shit hit, I would have been out the emergency door like, all right, fuck it.
And then I would have either that or get trampled on.
Bro,
take my Target shirt off and I'm back.
As soon as I saw people rush in the store like that, I'd be like, nope, I'm done. Like, nah.
Nigga, I would have immediately dropped my red t-shirt and been walking around my wife beater.
Yep. I would
have been
wearing masks these days too, bro. So
just wrap that joint around your face, bro. You straight.
Whatever.
Bro, shout out to all the ladies that went through Target and they knew exactly what they wanted out of the home decor section. Like, lady that grabbed them lamps, you really knew what you wanted. I'm gonna give you credit.
Get them motherfucking lamps.
They're sitting nice in that corner.
Bro, she been watching them lamps for a couple weeks. She had them joints in her cart.
And all that chaos and shit, just to know exactly where to go and not drop shit. Like,
cause I'd be looking at that situation, I'd be like, bro, I don't even know how I would loot.
I had anxiety.
It don't even make no sense to me. I would have been sitting there like, yo, what do I do? Are you sure?
I would have panicked, bro. I'd be like, damn, what did I come here?
I'm gonna take gift cards. Wait, you gotta scan them first. Then
they still ain't got the niggas installed a Nintendo Switch display because they ain't got no more left.
Man, I would have done even worse. I would have looted and left money. I would have paid for my stuff.
I'm gonna give y'all $20.
I didn't steal.
Right, I didn't steal.
I would look
change.
at the camera, smile.
I just didn't feel like standing in line.
Right.
I don't know. That's my only thing with loot. I'd be scared. I'd be scared to do it.
I would have went to self checkout. Fuck it.
You said what?
When the self checkout, would have went to self checkout. I'm just check stuff out. Something's going on with your machine.
I'm about to say you scan it. Oh, that joint not working, so I'm gonna
not working.
It's not working.
I'm gonna just assume that y'all want it because if it don't got no barcode on, that means it's free, right? All right, cool.
Okay. And I'm saying 6 feet behind Malik while he's doing it. We're going to social distance while we're looting. We're making sure we're doing this right. At the end of the day,
the protesters are very socially social distance. I do love that fact that they got their masks.
What? I've seen niggas in masks.
Until that tear gas hit, that's when it's like fuck.
Everybody else ain't even got a mask on. It's not socially distanced at all. But it doesn't matter right now. But I'm just saying, niggas are not socially.
This is sick. You're crazy, man. In the middle of a fucking pandemic, bro.
Literally, man. You got
bro, because America opened back up and racism decided, you know what?
We gonna open up too.
We back too.
Y'all we back too.
Literally, the odds of being murdered by the cops are probably the same as, if not higher, than you dying from COVID. So, like, I mean, this case right here, yeah, I'm totally for them. Like, literally, like, honestly, if you're under 50 years old, you have a better chance of dying in a car accident while getting struck by lightning and dying from COVID. I'm sorry, the CDC told me that. Like, I'm not making these numbers up. True. So, like, if you want to go out and do this shit right now.
This nigga's got a better chance of dying in a car accident while being struck by lightning.
That's probably the biggest. Like,
no. While being struck by lightning, though, nigga, you gotta think that too, yeah. That's almost impossible to do. You know how hard it is to get struck by lightning while driving a car and then crash?
And that?
I'm sorry.
Exactly, nigga. That means I gotta be driving during a thunderstorm.
Like, this shit is more pressing right now. It's just my opinion. Sorry, I don't know.
No, I mean, it clearly is. It's the top story right now.
Right, I'm about to say, like, it's
what pandemic, right? Like, damn, okay.
I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, it's kind of refreshing to have the pandemic not have the pandemic be the lead off story on the news.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, in a sick way. Yeah, I agree.
This is what we needed. We needed a break, huh? No.
Damn, the ups and downs.
Terrible idea for the break.
The ups and downs of pandemic reporting are stressful in and of themselves.
Oh, save it.
You're right. My bad. But anyway,
man, we just can't get a break. We can't catch a break.
You must give me a hot tag just now, Dante. God.
My bad. Sorry, but no, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, it's all terrible. It's been years, and it's just like, we've gone through these stages. I can't breathe. We saying people's names. Black Lives Matter. Bro, we've gone through 3 or 4 hashtags.
2014, we were in college. Like, before Trump was even a politician. This is how long we've been doing this song and dance. Like, that's
we've been
crazy.
doing it way before then. This is just as long as it's been in the.
No, I mean, I'm saying specifically, like,
Trayvon Martin was the one that modernized it for us.
Exactly.
And that was like 20 years.
That was generations. Yeah.
And nothing has changed. It's been this, like, shit in Minnesota alone. 2016, Orlando Castile was killed in the car with his family. He was on Facebook Live. Like,
he got clapped, bro. And that nigga was a member of the NRA.
Like, exactly.
Bro, he had a permit, and the NRA ain't saying nothing.
Oh, of course not.
I know. I'm just saying, but it's like one of those things. Like, yo, that's the day you really learn how racist America is. It's like, oh, NRA, yeah, that's one of y'all brothers, right? He had a gun. He was legal.
Orlando? What is that? Hispanic?
Ooh.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, he's a black with a Hispanic name. Ooh, it's double taboo. Oh, yeah, but it's just one of those things. It's just so messed up because you've just seen it happen for years and years on end, and it just like, when's it gonna stop?
Like I said, I thought, the world is never going to be. And listen, the world has completely changed. I always say, there's the world pre Trayvon Martin and post Trayvon Martin.
No bullshit. It's actually very accurate.
It hasn't changed at all. Like, it's still the same shit. But
the attention we pay to the issue it's there. Like, we care. Like, not we, because we always cared about it. We didn't want anybody to get killed by the cops. We've always seen this. But it's like, now the media attention is there, and it's one of those things where it's like we see this stuff so much, and yet nothing ever happens. And it just goes back to what we were saying at the beginning, where it's just like, what law can you pass to end racism? Because that's basically what you have to do.
People are telling their kids. Like, it's racist. Like, I used to really hope. Like, I used to think, like, as soon as this older racist generation dies off, like, things will slowly start to get better. But they've already told their kids. Who already got in their head.
It's so
like Dante said, like these cops and the police unions, they hold so much clout. Like, until they come out and say, we fucked up right there. We probably could. They don't say anything. They take zero accountability ever for any of these things.
Right.
America like has such like just this view that cops in the army, they're infallible. They can do no wrong. Literally, if you say anything negative about cop or a military person, you're unpatriotic. Oh, I don't care what it is. Can't
get them out of here.
Exactly, basically, like they're infallible. So that's what it is. Like these cops are unchecked. They go unchecked. They don't have to. They don't have to answer for anything.
They go unchecked, and then it's like we all look at these things, and it's like, you know, we know how this is going to play out. For the most part, dude's facing a 3rd-degree murder charge and manslaughter. Do I really really think he'll get even that?
Bro, we just need a victory, bro. That's all we need, bro. That's what I'm just hoping every time I'm gonna come out.
It'll be short lived. Even if we did get one victory, like there's no telling the next cop is going to get off, because like it's just so layered. Like even beyond the racism, like we were saying earlier, like people just care about want to keep their jobs. People don't want to lose their clout or don't want to lose their position. So like it's so layered, and the only way, like, we can wait for things to change. Like things have changed slowly to those people who say the whole like, look how far we've come, but at the same time, like, in the direction we're headed with so much blatant disrespect. Because now, like, I feel that since the social media aspect is here and the media coverage is here, it's so much more blatant. Like, we knew about it. We knew things were going down. We knew they were racist, but now it's just blatant disrespect.
Oh, it's politicized. It's like sports, right? Like, it's my team versus your team. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
So with so much blatant disrespect is heading directly to a point of those revolutions. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's gonna be our generation or our kids' generation, but if we keep getting disrespected, it's only a matter of time. That's all I can say.
I mean, like, the only thing I can think of that we should, like, you gotta get political, get leaders that will actually go in and make police be accountable. That's the one thing, like, because all politicians are scared to come out. Like, they are. That's the one thing they're scared to say anything about police, because the instant you say it, like, that'll, like, we'll be cool with it. Like, the black people on Twitter will be cool with it. But in general,
your job.
Yeah, that's an unpopular opinion to have, to be critical of cops.
And you can't even say it while you're trying to get elected.
Exactly.
You'd have to pivot and say it after you got elected, because for 9 out of 10 people, you can't win an election without having your local police union support you. Just the way it is, because of how
these unions, bro. Unions are a mob.
Basically, yeah, that's exactly what it is. They pulling all the strings behind the scene. You just can't win with that, and you just have to change everything. Like you said, it's such a hard thing, but it's because it's the same way even with like healthcare and things like that. If you want to improve healthcare and improve the way that you respond to a virus, the biggest thing is, it's like Aaron always said, you can't change up the game, play football while you're playing basketball at halftime. Like, the government can't just change this. It's like, if you really want to see change and you want to see people do better and those type of things, you have to elect leaders that are willing to make bold moves, do things that, aren't necessarily either seen as reasonable by some or the norm. Like, niggas that want Medicare for all, things like that. You got to vote for people that are willing to go outside the box.
And I get it. Like, like, people who, like, and I understand people who are willing to, like, just die for Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Like, I'm starting to get it now. It's like,
yeah, they don't see that as a glimmer of hope.
We've tired of how things been.
We've been in that narrow, just traditional lane. Like, we do need to go left. We need to go hard, take a hard left. Try that out. Like, I so, I mean, we're almost at an hour now. If you combine this with the earlier audio.
With the pre-drop off, got it.
Yeah. Always one.
This episode had no structure to it. It was not very
flowed.
It was not very lighthearted. It was a lot of real shit that needed to be said. I felt like I got a lot of venting out. I feel a lot better.
Sure.
What do you guys want to do a moral of the story? Bring the plane in for a landing?
Yeah, I can go first.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, like we just kept saying, everybody has to do their part in order to make these type of things work. If you're a person of color, make sure that you're making your voice heard. Make sure that you're supporting anybody that's out there saying what they got to say. If you're a white person, make sure that you're supporting your friends of color. Make sure that you just reach out to them, even if you're not on social media. reach out to your friends, ask them how they're doing, talk to people, get a better understanding of these things, just so you can be a more informed and better person. And it's just like Rome wasn't built in a day. We can't topple an empire overnight. This is one of those really difficult things that's really hard for us to all do during this time. And the last thing, make sure that you support all of your local funds or any of those type of things that are supporting people that are protesting and bailing them out. Like, donate to the one I did, Minnesota Freedom Fund, or whatever it was. I can't remember the name of it at the moment. But yeah, make sure that you support those things just so you can help people out who are out there on the front line and are going to be locked up for this inevitably because shit getting wild. So yeah.
It's only going to get wilder.
Basically.
Just to build off that, man, I think you summed it up well. I mean, we gotta vote. We gotta, as much as a lot of us don't believe in the system at this point, the system is currently what we have to work with. So we gotta use those means to get people who actually will stand up for us into seats of power. And it's not gonna be an overnight thing. It took us up to this point to see where we are now, and it's very racist now. So it's only gonna take a while longer for things to change, but starting now by using those active means, by believing that it's more than just like kind of tossing it up to the system, but getting more active, voting for the people who will help or support those organizations who will help, or you yourself, like standing up. Like not everybody is great at being vocal, but you have various means of expressing your rights of what you deserve as a human being. I mean, that's all we ask for, is just to be respected as a human being. Aaron said before, like it's not necessarily simple, but it kind of is. It kind of is, like at its core, like it's just like everybody just treating everybody with the respect that they deserve. And so like that's kind of my moral of the story is I'm proud to see like so many people, like especially in our generation, just being more active, being more vocal. Proud to be Black, honestly. Like I was saying before, I don't see too many other races or cultures that's kind of been through what we've been through and still pushing forward and still like playing the game of the system, still trying to like get elected in this racist country, still trying to like play the politics games in this country. And like I said before, the more we we're going to keep trying. I do encourage people to keep trying because we don't I'm sure nobody wants to be at a civil war, but gotta keep it going.
Go ahead, set up, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got Malik warming up in the bullpen, but yeah. Again, this is American. This is the most American thing you can do. When you're oppressed and you're pissed off, you rise up and you take shit into your own hands. And it's just gonna make a lot of people uncomfortable, a lot of people scared. But literally, like when we're in school, all of U.S. history is literally what we're looking at right now. Like over the entirety of just us being a country rising up, whether it's patriots, whether it's Black Americans, whether it's whatever, whether it's the South in the Civil War era, people pissed off and rising up for what they believe in. So these people are no different, and they should be treated the same and looked upon the same. Like, I mean, listen, there are a lot of people in the country that look upon the Confederacy with reverence, right? They came literally trying to
be for beard losers ever.
Like they tried to destroy the country for slavery. So I mean, like, and regardless, like if this is what it takes, this plus getting out there and voting, plus somehow holding cops accountable, this is the way forward. Like we're not getting rid of racism. America's always going to be racist. Like literally, America is built on racist concepts, manifesting.
Floating another
yeah. So we can't get past that, but we can make change because it's happened before in other nations, other civilizations. So, and basically, yeah. And stop telling people not to get pissed off, right? Don't be that guy and be like, oh, stop telling people how to react. Because, like, again, like Tupac said, like, literally, we've been outside the door trying to ask to get in for years and years and years. People are pissed off. This is just human nature. It's not about who's right or who's wrong. Like, it's bigger than that. So.
It's not like we try one way and then quit. Like we try
exactly right. Ways. Yeah. So
all right, Chapman, come on. What you got? Throw them 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, bro.
Man, all I want to say is that to my Black brothers and sisters, we are in a a brutal war against racism. We are in a war, and with any war, it takes a lot of battles, takes a lot of losses, it takes a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears and grit. But this is going to define us as a race, as a people. And I feel like at the end of the day, man, like we gotta, something's going to give, and I feel like we're gonna push through. And then to my white brethren and sister, and quite frankly, we need y'all support. Like, I'm gonna just keep it being. Like, we can't. There's only so much we can do, and so much that we can do alone and drag on our burden. We already have a burden, like Darian was saying, a burden on our backs as soon as we come through the room. Saying, hey, we're leg down against everybody in the competition. We still find a way to get up and put our pants on the same way that you and everyone else does when we go out and we try to make a change and make an impact on this world. And all we're asking for is a fair chance. We're not asking for any type of superiority.
Right.
We're just literally just asking for the same
civil liberties.
Just be treated as a human being. That's it.
Just as a human. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you feel that, cool. If you don't feel that, just shut up and just be quiet. Like, if you don't feel it, that's cool. You're entitled to your opinion. Like, good thing about us as black people is that we love you no matter what. So that's cool. If you got beef, you know what I'm saying? You don't like the way we do things, or you don't agree with it, just. But if you are with us, we need you more. We need people more than ever. So that's why I feel on it.
Sure.
At the end of the day, it's just like it was, just like it's always been. Unfortunately, it's the worst thing about it. We need y'all to legitimize our argument in order for people to actually care. It really sucks, but that's the way it's just been. We need to legitimize our pain. It sucks.
Yep. We'll make it, folks. We're strong people. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud of my black brethren and sisters.
Keep battling.
I'm brethren.
Now.
All right. So that was episode 48. Hopefully next time
Force 48.
Hopefully next time we are together. I don't know. Maybe we can socially distance next time. Maybe next time we'll see.
Maybe an in-person podcast.
I'm gonna say, are we 25%
in person?
I'm gonna say, we're 25% in the room.
Bro, I mean, we'll be alright.
Our reach is reopening.
Oh, listen, man. I'm totally down for it.
Who got a balcony? So we can.
I don't. I'm poor.
I have a balcony, but there's a bee's nest on our balcony that we have to take care of.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it made a bee's nest in the dog's cage because we put the dog's cage outside. So like,
I would send
the dog out.
I would put it in there. I'm about to say, come on.
I would send the dog out to go like sit in the balcony. She actually do that, and I always noticed like she would like fidget around. I was like, and there, like the bees would just be spinning around.
She getting stung?
No, luckily she didn't get stung, but like the bees, like they move around so quickly, freak her out. So then we noticed it, and so I gotta take care of that. But yeah, next time we can do it in person podcast. Like we'll be fine. But yeah. So this is episode 48. Crazy times we live in, but shit, man. Like all you can do is try to make it better. Shit, this is the place we live, planet we live on. So. Keep doing it and just stay safe out there, everybody. Stay healthy, stay safe, all that.
You're gonna close out by saying your name so the rest of us can.
Oh shit! I was waiting. I'm sorry. I'm because I got CNN on it. Like the shit's crazy. But
it's like a movie, man.
Yeah, it's your man. Shut up, Cole.
Yeah, it's your man's Unruly DW. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. Make sure you watch our YouTube videos, all that good stuff.
Hey, it's your boy, They Be Geek and Leak.
It's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and these are the Hentations. Stay safe, y'all.
Damn, that's smooth.